model provides the much-needed and broader smart space, creating more possibilities for teaching and learning.
Distance learning has a lot of relevance in education. Teachers can use high-tech and non-tech level of technology depending where they are, depending on resources.
The arrival of a truck opens the door to opportunity for the young people.
The training got me some skills. I will have more chickens than now. I will have more rabbits than now. I will be advertising my business online and selling it online.
It also helps senior citizens adapt to the digital world.
Il y a des nouveaux termes, des nouveaux mots. Par exemple, arrobase, on ne l'a pas connu à l'école primaire, moi. Par exemple, dièse, on ne l'a pas connu à l'école. Le slash, on ne l'a pas connu à l'école lorsque j'étais jeune.
New knowledge stimulates children's imaginations. Sowing the seeds of technology in their hearts will help their dreams blossom.
我平时吧，动手能力比较强一点，我对制作蜂巢柜最感兴趣。
Digital technology brings more possibilities to education. Improving digital skills and technological literacy helps bridge the digital divide. And more people enjoy the benefits of technology and embrace digital life. Huawei is committed to enabling digital education and looks forward to working with more partners to promote education equity and quality. Leaving no one behind in digital education. Leaving no one behind in the digital world.
Intelligence. With it, we can infinitely explore uncharted boundaries. For when technology empowers education and our intellects are interconnected, the race to accelerate the digital journey of education will kick off. With one entrance, we are entering a new realm of possibilities where intelligence sparks wisdom. Classrooms transcend geographical boundaries, and streamlined communication put the best resources within reach. Through collaborative creation, hidden gems are uncovered. As every detail is perceived, each child is understood. Breaking through space and time, our minds can journey to a world of wonder. and we stay curious as we navigate the road to the future, embracing a brighter and better world. That's not all. For educators, intelligence improves the quality and efficiency of communication. Wisdom flows to every corner of the world, and all children can equally reap the green benefits of smart education. Campuses feature ubiquitous intelligence, while students and teachers access networks anytime and anywhere. Self-service O&M powered by AI relieves the burden on IT personnel. And the cloud breaks the space limits to create an ultra-broadband, flexible, and green intelligence network. From learning to living and teaching to management, ubiquitous connectivity, convenient resource sharing, and refined management make campuses smarter, safer, and closer. Huawei Intelligent Education Solution is committed to cultivating innovative talent in education through connectivity, AI, cloud computing, and other technologies, and narrowing the digital divide to promote the balanced development of basic education. This empowers the intelligent and digital transformation of education as a whole, unleashing the full potential of intelligence. Huawei, accelerate the digital journey of education.
Hi. Mike? Hi. Can you hear me? Good. Good afternoon. My name is Augustine, and I'm actually the MC for today's session. Welcome to the Huawei Digital Education Forum. We have quite a good list of our speakers today. I'm sure everybody will have a good session ahead. To kick us off, I would first like to invite Mr. Mark Yang, the Director for Education in Huawei Global Public Sector, to deliver his opening address. Let's welcome Mark on stage. Mark.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and friends. Welcome to MWC 2023, Huawei Global Education Forum. I'm Mark Yang, the Director of Education in Huawei Global Public Sector Department. A big thank you for joining us to accelerate the digital journey of education. I see some familiar friend faces with good representation from many countries across stakeholder groups, from researchers to education practitioners. With such rich diversity, I'm confident we will have a fruitful, enriching session with invaluable takeaways. We know education directly impacts the growth of a country and its future. It plays a vital role in eliminating gender inequality, reducing poverty, and promoting peace. Modern education, which comprises an even wider range of topics, can also help cultivate stronger self and social values, enriching physical and mental well-being. This enables graduates to compete more effectively in the labor market, taking on choice roles. Hence, many countries have increased investment in the education sector, leveraging cloud computing, IoT, and AI as enablers. Digital transformation can be accelerated at pace, using diverse learning channels and forms, virtual reality for immersive experience, as well as mobility devices. We can strengthen learning anytime, anywhere. But this is only possible if there is good connectivity within and outside the campus. The enhancement of intra- and inter-campus network construction is therefore of paramount importance to build a high standard and high performance education digital cloud base. This is why we are honored to have with us today esteemed speakers who will be sharing the latest education, digital transformation trends, and how technology is being used to transform students' learning and teaching pedagogy. Huawei's subject matter experts will also be sharing to Huawei intelligent education solutions that are serving more than 2,800 universities and colleagues across 120 countries and regions. To date, Huawei has already partnered more than 2,200 universities and colleagues around the world to build Huawei ICT academies. We now have 8,000 ICT teachers with 200,000 students trained, just as Rome was not built in a day. Digital transformation is a long journey, with all stakeholders having a role to play. In this regard, Huawei will continue to work with our industry partner to leverage new technologies and develop innovative solutions to better serve the needs of the education industry. Together, we can build a better future for the generation to come. In closing, I wish to thank in advance our guest speakers from UNESCO headquarters, the National University of Singapore, Exusa, and Grace Cosmos for your upcoming sharing. I'm sure your knowledge and experience will be of great value to all of us present here. Thank you once again, and I wish you a pleasant day ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark, for his opening address. I think we are seeing a lot of changes in education over the years, as education moved from 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and now basically we're at 4.0. I think there is a lot of changes in terms of your curricular planning, your design, and ultimately very much your delivery, how the classes are taught. So to share more today about the digital transformation of education, as well as how it may be applied to public digital learning, I'm going to invite Mr. Miao Feng Chun, the Chief of Unit for Technology and AI in Education, UNESCO, on stage to tell us more. Let's put our hands and welcome him. Mr. Miao, please.
Good morning, good afternoon. Thank Huawei for the invitation. It's my honor to be here to share some experience and views from UNESCO with the experts from around the world. We understand the digital learning not only from the laboratory ideas. From UNESCO, we're working with 193 countries. So all these ideas are based on our work in the cooperation with 193 countries. So we would like to quickly share what we can offer from UNESCO in terms of resources in this field and our understanding about the transformation of digital transformation of education. And also we will flash our cooperation with Huawei in this field. UNESCO is the only one and mandatory organization from the UN agency to work with member states in developing international instruments, and we call it normative instruments. We are also the global laboratory of new ideas in the education field. We are also, of course, the convener of international cooperation in education. And we also act as the capacity builder, especially for the national capacities. That's our four fundamental functions. And at the same time, in this field, we found that we should work on the key themes. We are talking about the general sector-wide ICT education policy and master plan. At the same time, we are thinking of the emerging technology and their implications for education, including the AI and the education. It's not AI in education, but also education for AI. And at the same time, how we should think of the content. From UNESCO, we are promoting open educational resources, called OER. We coined this term 20 years ago, in 2002. And then we are also thinking of the other emerging technology, especially blockchain, metaverse, how we can use them. So that's the key areas. Based on this, we have been working with the countries, all the countries. Specifically, I already guided more than 70 countries in developing the national digital learning policy. I traveled directly to more than 40 countries, organizing workshops, each of them 5 days, with the minister, vice minister, director generals. And we reached more than 2,000 policymakers, which are the ministers and the director generals. And then we help them develop the policy, not only to talk. And based on this practice, we developed, I call it 3+1 guidance on digital learning, including the policy guideline on ICT education, the AI and education guidance for policymaker, and the guidelines for the development of OER policy, plus education and blockchain. All of them are formal publication you can download free of charge. They will be made available in 6 UN languages. So far, we have 20, 30 versions in terms of language. At the same time, we are not only talking about from the top down, but also bottom up. We are collecting a lot of case studies from around the world. For example, I also manage the UNESCO prize for ICT education. Every year, we are choosing 2 best practice in digital learning. We have run this prize for 14 years. We are collecting 28 best practice. And we publish a book. And at the same time, during COVID-19, we choose 3 countries, Korea, Saudi Arabia, Finland, to analyze how they are using digital learning to respond to COVID. We published 3 reports. And then we have a compendium on AI and education. We collected around the world the best practice and AI applications for education, including, for example, Huawei. They have an AI sign language application for education. And at the same time, we are the #1 UN agency or international organization map the AI curriculum in the K-12 schools of 193 countries. For your information, only 15 countries have developed AI curriculum for schools. None of them from Africa, none of them from Latin America. Based on this, we are promoting a new initiative we call Gateway to the Public Digital Learning. We want to develop a gateway. We are planning to develop a new norms or standard on digital learning. And at the same time, we want to continue to select the best practice. So my understanding about the digital transformation of education, we should think much, much broader than what we are talking about. We should think of from the supply side reform, which is how we can transform the provision and the management of education and the lifelong learning system, not only education, not only formal education, but also non-formal, informal learning across all the life area and until the lifelong journey, including the older people. And this is from the supply. From the demand level, education is a single important, the most important channel, most important mainstream channel to educate everybody about digital transformation. What's the value we should insist? What we should do with the digital technology? We should never do with the digital technology. Only education is the single most important channel. So from this, we need to think how we can adjust education to respond to this demand. And the last one, very often this is very much ignored, is how we can mobilize education and research to steer the reconstruction of system, especially to build, I call it, a digital social order. With this, we need to put the digital transformation of education in a big context. To me, the digital transformation is the latest round of technology-driven civilizational transition. We have gone through technology-driven civilizational tradition in the history many times, from the cold weapon to hot weapon, from the horse wagon to the automobile car, to the typewriter, from the typewriter to the computer. We need to think what happened. 5 key elements: technology leap, much lower entry-level skills. Third one, very important, social mobilization, which means everybody can use it. And then, because we increase the productivity, we need a new system, new law, new legal framework to manage the change. There's a kind of system reconstruction. And then we can see that in the history. That's the civilizational transition, which means the civilization landscape will transform from Asia to US to Europe. We have experienced this over the history. The digital transformation have all these 5 key elements. So based on this, but we have 2 logic. The logic, these 2 logics always have a tension. The result of this the tension is the civilizational transition. First one is always it starts from the profit-driven civilizational transition. And the other one is a humanistic approach to the civilizational transition. Based on this, I put forth this framework. So every country needs to identify these key elements for the digital transformation of education. First one, what's your aim? Especially, what's your national aim? We should not only follow the political leaders' slogans, digital transformation. We need to think what's the aims of the digital transformation of education in our country, and especially the historical responsibility of this transformation. The second one is, of course, we need the upgrading of the digital infrastructure for education as well, but we need to put the human-centered principle. At the same time, we need to think of the digital literacy and the digital empowerment, and especially how every country should foster our own digital innovation. We should never wait for the Western country to come to help us. We should never only wait the developed country to come to provide their technology. We are observing how they are banning us. So every country should have their own human talent, digital talent, to promote their own digital innovation. No political leader should forget this. And the next one is that how we can make a public digital education system. We have been building the physical public education system. It's the time to think of the digital public education system. And we should not forget that we are facing the risk construction of the system. And you can see there's also 2 logics. There's tension from the humanistic approach, a humanistic concern, and also we have the digital humanism values that UNESCO has been promoting. I have no time to explain, so I move to the next one is what are the strategic priorities? Every country should think of digital strategic autonomy. Many countries forget. European does not. European put for the strategy last year. Many countries forget the digital strategic autonomy. There's no such kind of really sharing culture. Many of the culture underlying is the banning. So every country to think of the autonomy. And we should think of the autonomy-driven digital transformation of education. For the second one, we should think how we can build digital public good, especially for your country. And then the strategic digital infrastructure upgrading. The third one is we need to think of the lifelong and life-wide digital empowerment, and also to think of the fostering of digital talent for the countries. And then we need to think of the build of the public education system and enable indigenous, innovative use of technology. The last one is very important, is how we can promote ethical of scientific technology. But more importantly, we need to think what kind of social order we want to build. We are forgetting this. And based on this, we have an understanding about the digital transformation. I don't want to repeat, but more importantly, we need to have a balance between the instrumental rationality and the value rationality, human and not human resources. Human has its value as a human, non-human resource value. The technology should first of all support our human value instead of we are labor. We are more than a labor. And with this, these trends I have observed. I think now from the provision level, we are more and more have a kind of introverted provision, and then we are supporting the open access. So that's my observation. We need to think how we can consolidate it together through our provision. Curriculum assigned content, centralized platform, pedagogical innovation, human coach, all from the provision level, and think of the open license, inclusive access, and we call it platform or technology branding, agnostic accessibility, and also think of the ubiquitous learning. Based on this, we promote digital open school, and we try to integrate content, capacity, and connectivity. And with this, we have been working with Huawei. We signed an agreement 3 years ago. Huawei is very kindly providing multiple millions to help UNESCO to test this project, not in China, but in African country. We are working with Egypt, Ethiopia, and Ghana. We are directly already targeting more than 200,000 students and more than 1 million teachers. And we're helping this country to building the national digital learning platform. For example, in Egypt, we are building the first ever teacher supporting platforms in Egypt that will reach almost 1 million of teachers of Egypt. And we are promoting this project in 3 African countries. To me, we are making kind of groundbreaking impact over there. So with this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention at the time.
Thank you, Mr. Miao, for his sharing. I think what I liked was the fact that beyond just talking about digital transformation, beyond having frameworks, there were actually very tangible initiatives, things that are actually being done. And I look forward to more projects between Huawei and UNESCO as we try to touch the lives of many, many children in the generations to come. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to hear a little bit more about Huawei, our point of view around education, what we have been doing, the type of solutions that we have. For this, I'm going to invite on stage my good friend, Mr. Nadim Abdurrahim. He will come and he will share with us more of Huawei solutions. Nadim, please. Welcome him.
Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, my name is Nadim Abdurrahim. I'm part of the global public sector industries in Huawei, and I'm going to talk mainly about acceleration of adoption in education. Okay, we're living in an age of exponential development or innovation in technology. Technology is moving at a very fast pace. Exponential means it's like a 10x. Things are changing very quickly. Now, the key is how do you adopt that technology to apply it to whatever industry. Today we're talking about education, so you have to look at adoption from which perspective. Is it adoption from a person perspective? From a person, you can adopt new technology the easiest. You make your own risk assessment. You say, okay, I'm going to adopt different software, iPhone or iOS, whatever technology you want. You can adopt it very quickly, very easily, because you make your own decisions. When it comes to education, it's a bit more difficult because you have to look at it from a school perspective or multiple schools, or from government, it's like a Ministry of Education. So each one has different levels of requirements to be able to adopt technology. What does technology consist of? So we're talking about 5G, 4G, 5G, IoT, Internet of Things, different types of devices, different interfaces to interact with human beings, augmented reality, virtual reality, metaverse, blockchain. All of these are happening very quickly now. And on a private basis, you might apply it, but if you apply it to technology from education perspective, it takes more time and preparation. Because of that, similar to what a colleague from UNESCO has said, is you have to have a strategy. You have to have the long-term plan of how you're going to introduce it. And as you see, different countries already have plans, a 2030, 2035 plan, like they have in China, EU, Japan, Singapore. These are different types of plans, long-term visions of how to adopt and achieve a long-term goal. Part of the portfolio, you can say, of what makes it happen, or like quick wins, so to say, is the classroom itself. So what kind of technology you can apply in a classroom? What kind of technology can you apply in a campus as a school? As multiple schools together, or a national network, or an educational network, or a research network. And for that, we have different types of technologies, which I will introduce today. Now, as part of this digital transformation journey, we've created something called a maturity assessment model. And it's actually made up of 6 different dimensions. And the dimensions are digital strategy. So we're talking about the digital vision, the planning, the culture, digital governance, which is very important because it's all to do with data. So how do you govern the data? How do you provide privacy, data specification, data security, and the blockchain capability if you want to apply it to blockchain. So these are all things you have to plan ahead to be able to use. But the technology is there already. Smart environment, so what is actually happening in a classroom, for example. So devices, classroom interaction, could be the smart boards, which we're displaying at our exhibition space, the training base, the smart campus as a whole. Smart teaching, so this is different individual boundaries, access to individual boundaries. So what they were saying here is, how we're progressing from just a book-based system to a system where, based on data, you can adjust the material to the capabilities of a student. And as part of this assessment model, by the way, we have like 5 categories. So in each one of these entries, you see there's like 5 steps of how basic is and what is the most advanced. And then you can create an image of where you are today and where you might want to go. And by the way, there's a link there which you can use to download the white paper. It's available for free. Physical boundaries. So physical boundaries has to do a lot with where you're doing the teaching. Is it in the school? Is it remote, distance learning, or a hybrid solution? And then access to learning experiences. So the experiences is just a book, or is it an environment? Interactive teaching, AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, or even metaverse. Assessment is actually very important. Assessment of students, assessment of teachers, and assessment of schools. And this is really where you get the data. So a lot of this data you need, for example, to do smart teaching. So it's it's a loop where the more information you have, the more advanced you can get in different levels. And the last one is transformation effects. So talent development, campus services, and scientific research. So what are some of these quick wins, so to say? So we have smart classrooms. I'm going to talk about that a bit. So what fits into it? So it's a digital classroom, hybrid learning, and collaborative classroom interaction. On a campus perspective, it's to do with security, it's to do with communication. In general communication now, each student on average has 2.5 devices they're connecting into a network. Now, if you look at that, traditional systems probably cannot cope with that. So you have to upgrade the systems to be able to cater for the additional points of interaction. So Wi-Fi is one, connecting multiple schools is another, so converged campus solutions and intelligent collaboration. Then on the scientific research side, so this is a bit more advanced now, we have high-performance data analysis. So this is for like medical research or university research type solutions, where you have information in multiple areas you have to access very quickly. And then NREN, which is National Research Education Network. And this is mainly for universities, where you have an infrastructure to do high performance, high bandwidth interaction. Talent development, we've already mentioned in some of the presentations earlier. So we've done this 2,000 academies, 8,000 instructors, over 200,000 students per year. So going into it in a bit more detail. So on a campus network, what's the important part? Campus network, you want to provide a wireless environment where everybody can connect with one access to any kind of environment. So is it the library, is it the education system, is it the administrative system? And we provide convergence. Historically, you might have multiple networks, one network for Wi-Fi, one network for registration, one network for the syllabus. So now we're converging everything together, and this way can you reduce your total cost of ownership of the systems. And as part of that, one of the main costs, of course, is operating and maintaining a system of this kind. So how do you take this down? So you see something called master NCE here, and you'll see it actually in most of the slides as we go along. So this is a master network cloud engine. Okay, so this is a cloud engine that does many things at the same time. Actually, it's split into 4 engines. One engine is for management. The second is for control and automation. Third one is for data and analysis to capture information. And the last one is for AI capability. And we're applying all of this to manage and run your system as effectively as possible. An example there at the bottom is Thailand Converged Campus, what we've done. And there we've linked multiple universities together. Again, we're using a Wi-Fi network where nobody has to wire up. Everything is wireless. Unified multiple campuses. and upped the bandwidth capabilities and provided O&M facilities. An important part of schools, especially K-12, is to link them together, to share information they have, especially if it's an organization of schools or a government entity of schools. How do you link them together? So there's multiple ways. Here we're talking mainly about a software-defined wide area network. There's many ways to do it. MPLS is one, where you have to have a private network, or you can do it over the internet. And in the internet, you create a VPN with this software-defined WAN, and it provides you many capabilities, which I'll list. One is to give Wi-Fi to access in the school, in the classrooms. One is to provide operation maintenance, all from one location to up to 2,000 schools in a country. And a good example is what they did in Paraguay. They have actually 2,000 schools there. And you'll see something called integrated robot cabinet. So what this is a small cabinet that goes actually in each one of these 2,000 schools. It has all the switching requirements, the processing, the storage, and the link. You just set it up, link it to the infrastructure, internet, and then from the iMaster NCE, you actually set it up. So from a central location, you control all the 2,000 schools. You can set them up from there, configure them, manage them, automate processes, and enable AI capabilities. So this will take down your CapEx down, your cost of operation, your maintenance, and it updates you automatically on any kind of activity that is happening. Next, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi I've mentioned many times. So there's Wi-Fi 6, which can give you up to around 10.8 gigabits per second in an environment like this. Wi-Fi 7 now is the new one, can go all the way to 18 gigabits per second. The advantages are of the new Wi-Fi 6 and 7 is that they give you roaming capability. So going from one zone to the next, it's in 10 milliseconds. There's no intermission, very low latency. And the other part is the number of users. It can go up to 200 for one access point. So in an area like this, you have one access point can provide Wi-Fi to everybody at high speed. An example at the bottom is a university in Shenzhen, a library, where they actually have robots to bring you books and return them to the location, and they're working on Wi-Fi. And they roam around in the library. They have 700,000 books there, and they can interact and do all this communication in real time without missing a beat. National Research Education Network. So this is high performance processing. We need high compute capabilities, but it's distributed in different areas. And we provide, again, a network here, high bandwidth, simplified, intelligent, so on, and again, with this iMaster NCE at the heart of it on a central location. An example of that is we did that in Ankabut in the UAE. They have 35 education institutions, 80 campuses, 25 universities. Lastly, in China, in West China Hospital, there we're doing this HPDA, which is the high performance data analytics. So this is in genome sequencing at this hospital. And at this hospital, they require a lot of data from different locations. And with this technology, it's the distributed data access. So data is in different locations. You can access it very quickly, 180 times faster than what you were able to do before. And they were able to, create new genome science, especially now also during COVID. Some of the references worldwide, the numbers were mentioned already. So, almost 1 billion students, 500,000 schools, and 2,800 universities and Ministry of Education. Next, I will show you a very short video about a smart classroom. We're launching this at this exhibition now at MWC, and I will just let it play. And this is the launch of this Smart Classroom 2.0. And what it is, it's a classroom where you're recording the capabilities that are happening. So what the students are doing, what's happening on the whiteboard, on the blackboard, the course material. With one box, you can link up to 6 to 10 other classrooms in the same school. Provide all this. The capabilities are that you can provide it live, but you can provide it also for remote teaching afterwards. So this, we're using a cloud edge synergy technology, which links everything together. Again, a faster network, Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 7. Wi-Fi 7 going to this 18.6 gigahertz per second. And one of the main interactions between student and teachers is the smart boards. And one of the key features is that it's pure real time. When you write on it, you should check them out on the exhibition site. When you write on the board, it feels like writing on paper. It doesn't feel like writing on a traditional blackboard. It's very, very fast. Okay, this is it from my side, and I hope you enjoyed it.
All right.
You can download the information. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, sure. It's okay. Thank you, Nadim. So for those of you who are interested about our solutions, about the Smart Classroom 2.0, please visit the Huawei booth at Hall 1, and then you can find out more. Our next speaker actually comes from the National University of Singapore. I'm actually also a Singaporean. My sisters were actually studying in the NUS previously. So to tell us more about their network journey, as well as how they're actually pioneering an approach to providing outdoor wireless coverage within a campus, we have actually Ms. Tan Swee Min, the Chief Information Technology Officer itself. So can we put our hands together and welcome Swee Min on stage? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Oops, yeah, thanks. All right, good afternoon, everybody. I would like, first and foremost, I'd like to thank Huawei for inviting me to this event. I'm excited and honored to be here. So today I'm going to tell you a little story, but before I begin my story, I'd like to give an introduction of the organization that I come from. I'm from National University of Singapore. For those who are not quite aware of us, we started in 1905 with one school, a medical school, with only 23 students. We were founded by a group of enthusiastic philanthropic businessmen who saw the need to serve the local community. Now, more than 100 years later, we are now the flagship University of Singapore, and we continue to serve the local society and also the global community as well, striving to be the leading global university shaping the future. If you look at the various ranking authorities, depending on who they are, for QS, we are ranked number 1 in Asia, number 11 in the world, and Times Higher Education ranked us as number 19 in the world. We have certainly grown over the years. We are no longer one school, but 17 faculties and schools altogether. We have now 3 campuses across the tiny island of Singapore, and we offer both degree, bachelor degree, and postgraduate degree as well, and also diplomas. Yeah. In terms of student size, from a small single school, 23 students, we are now more than nearly 45,000 students, and if you add in the lifelong learning adults, we are over 60 to 65,000 strong. In terms of staff strength, we have more than 12,000 staff with us. So as you can see, NUS has grown. And against this backdrop, I'm going to start my story. I'd like you to appreciate that with a community like that, we have very sophisticated needs in terms of network connectivity. As we talk about digital campus, we talk about smart campus, the network is very important to us. So my story starts in the year of 2016. Now, during that time, NUS has wired and also wireless network. Our wireless network has about 4,005 access points, APs, during that time. You think that, oh, 4,005 sounds like a big number, but we have constant complaints and feedbacks that the Wi-Fi is unstable, it's difficult to connect, it's slow, and all that. So in 2017, when we did an IT perception survey, only 66% of our respondents think that they're happy with our network. And of course, that prompted us into a series of improvements, efforts, and projects. So take, for example, in 2018, we rolled out 6,500 access points across our university. We had them in the hostels, in the halls, in the lecture theaters, in the auditoriums. And with that, we were able to support hybrid teaching and learning. We were able to support online e-exams, and we improved the quality of life for our students when they're on campus. And in 2019, we introduced outdoor Wi-Fi to our bus stops. And we also introduced the IoT network, supporting 1,005 over IoT devices. So by the end of 2019, we did an IT perception survey again. And this time, we saw a marked improvement. 86% of our respondents were happy with the network. And they should, because by that time, we have achieved 100% indoor Wi-Fi coverage. And that extensive and dense network coverage served us well in the year 2020 when the pandemic struck us. And we made use of our Wi-Fi connections, our Wi-Fi lock-ins to do contact tracing, and also to determine the crowd level of the popular venues like our canteens and our libraries. And we implemented many solutions that help to keep our campus safe for our staff and students during the pandemic years. Well, at the same time, during those pandemic years, we also kicked off an ambitious, massive network upgrade where we upgraded our wireless from Wi-Fi 4 to Wi-Fi 6, and we also implemented software-defined access network. So if you think then, so what does all that translate to? I have a little video that will show you our network upgrade project, which is codenamed NewsNet 6. So with the conclusion of this network upgrade, we felt that we are ready now to take the indoor Wi-Fi experience to outdoor. And we started exploring various options that we could do to implement a solution like that. Of course, we took into consideration the time to deploy, the effort to deploy, and most importantly, the cost to deploy. So after exploring various options, we came to the conclusion that we will make use of a new approach, a very untested, nascent approach, which is to implement outdoor Wi-Fi using 5G as a backhaul. So when you use 5G as a conduit, it really means that you eliminate the need to do excavation works to lay fiber optics. And that translates to a faster time to delivery and a lower cost of delivery as well. So that was definitely appealing to us. At the same time, we felt that there is a need to make sure that our solution is environmentally sustainable and friendly. And so we decided that we will design our own outdoor wireless access points to be powered by solar energy. So this is a nascent approach, and before we roll it out to all our 3 campuses, we need to do a proof of concept, a little prototype to make sure that it works. And we selected a big sports field in one of our campuses, and we did that prototype. And here's a little video to show you the results of our prototype.
For the first time in Singapore, NUS pilots the outdoor wireless prototype using 5G technology at the open field across University Hall. The Wi-Fi setup can reach up to 40 meters with excellent signal and 80 meters with moderately good signal. Built using outdoor-grade Wi-Fi infrastructure with no excavation or cables laid, this outdoor solution is powered by the latest 5G technology and leverages clean solar energy. In this video, we have placed two cones in the field at 40 meters and 80 meters respectively to illustrate the effectiveness of the user's Wi-Fi experience. Here, Bok Koon demonstrated how the ability to connect to NUS Wi-Fi and indoor Wi-Fi has been extended to outdoor spaces. Even on the move, the quality of his WhatsApp call is excellent, with no interruption to the 40-meter mark. As Bok Koon reaches the 40-meter mark, his Wi-Fi experience remains steady and rapid, with Wi-Fi speed test regular reaching a first-rate average of 167 megabytes per second. Previously, Bok Koon was unable to show his green pass at the sports field due to lack of outdoor connection. Now, he no longer faces any issue. He is also able to enjoy smooth and high-quality video streaming outdoors, enabled by the stable Wi-Fi provided. With no lag or buffering issues all the way to the 80-meter mark, Bok Koon will have a consistent user experience in both indoor and outdoor spaces. Now, let's look at the components in this setup and explore how 5G technology is used to engender exceptional user experience. A solar panel that provides power to the equipment without the need to excavate and lay power cables. Outdoor wireless access points to broadcast NUS and NUS student Wi-Fi. An enclosure to house other equipment in this setup. At outdoor spaces, the Wi-Fi signal can propagate much better as there is line of sight and less obstruction. The Wi-Fi signal will cover about 40% of the field, measuring approximately 170 meters by 185 meters. In the box, you will find a 5G router attached to a SIM card to connect to StarHub's 5G network. A transformer to convert direct current from the solar panel to alternating current. A battery to store power to sustain the equipment during nighttime and rainy or cloudy weather. As this is the first outdoor wireless prototype, there is room for optimization and calibration to have a sleeker enclosure and a smaller solar panel. In this solution, StarHub's 5G network is used as the backhaul that transits to the NUS network. With this technology, the time to market and costs are both at least 50% lower. Firstly, the Wi-Fi connection will transit through 5G and reach the NUS network. Then, it will go to the internet via the NUS network, secured by firewalls, intrusion prevention system, and so forth. Presenting Singapore's very first outdoor wireless on 5G technology by NUSIT.
So that video was shot in 2021, end of 2021, and by now we have gone through 2 iterations for our access points, outdoor access points. If you can see on the diagram on the right-hand side, that is our 3rd generation outdoor access points. It is now a lot more compact, it uses a lot less energy, and it lasts longer as well. And the benefit of this, another benefit of this solution is that we are able to get 5G in all our campuses, thanks to our telco partner. So with this, I am concluding my presentation, but my story doesn't end here. So for network, it's another digital transformation. And like all digital transformation process, there's really no destination in sight. Yep. It's always continuous improvements, upgrade, and innovation. I hope you find this presentation interesting and useful. Thank you again for having me here. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. All right, thank you, Swee Min, for the wonderful sharing. I think it's interesting. As long as we have technology, then plus the human brain, I think we really could actually think innovatively how we can actually use the energy for, or rather use the technology to achieve what we want. So what we also know is that digital education transformation is also gathering a lot of momentum in Latin America, in Central America. to tell us more about that, may I invite Ms. Anna Reyes from EXUSA, and she will share more about their concept of smart campuses as well as learning villas. Can we welcome her once again? Anna, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon. Well, I'm also pleased to be here, and thank you, Huawei, for inviting us to share with you our experience going through a digital journey. First of all, before I start telling you about our experience, I will let you know who we are and where we are located. The EXUSA group is from Panama. Panama is a small country in Central America. We have approximately 4.3 million people, and some key points that I'm sure you all know. We have the Panama Canal and its expansion, and we also a strategic factor of Panama is that we connect the two oceans in only 80 kilometers. So our economy is based on services. Our main pillars are the logistics and maritime services, legal and financial services, and commerce. So the EXUSA group is a Panamanian group, a fully Panamanian group that has a four line of businesses. One is the technology and innovation, investment funds, real estate, and the core business of the EXUSA group is education. We own 4 universities, 15 schools from K to 12, and a new concept of learning we call Learning Villa. And also we like to introduce you the Vice President of New Development that is here with me today, Andres Barrios. He also sits at the Board of Directors. Here you can appreciate some of the pictures of how the universities look. We have the main ones, Universidad Interamericana, University, and the other is the schools and the learning villas. Okay. We have 4 universities, as I mentioned before. 2 of them are comprehensive, and we have 62% of the market shares of the private universities in Panama. And the other 2 are more focused in some careers. So now we start. How we start our digital journey? When the pandemic arrived, we start asking ourselves, where is the future of education? What are the new challenges that we are going to face in the process of teaching and learning? Education is anywhere, anytime. Connectivity is a must because collaboration and co-creation is very important for the education right now, and the education will be customized. It's not like it will be for everyone. In some cases, it will be very customized. The impact of technology is very important to adopt the new technologies because they were already here, but we were late in adopting them in the sector. And also emerging trends that the industry is looking for, so we need to make sure that we can customize the education to comply with that. So we start looking for a partner to go through with this digital journey, and we find the right partner with Huawei in Panama. So we start evaluating our current infrastructure. How is our technological infrastructure? Are we digital readiness? How are we in there? So we established a plan with Huawei to establish some projects, to develop some projects. And one of them, the plan was the development of a new concept of learning that is called Learning Villa. We will develop 7 of them. Also, we expand the online and offline hybrid learning programs, build smart campuses. In the first phase, we are planning to build 4 of them, and move the cloud service implementation. Also, we will design a 3-year plan for digital transformation. So the main projects that I will focus today is in the Smart Campus, and the objective for us is to have a great connectivity and to have a great technological infrastructure so we can develop and deploy more hybrid programs. Also, we make sure that we have a wide, sufficient bandwidth to support smart technologies. We will implement and develop academic and business applications to ensure that we can service our students in a timely manner. And of course, we will combine learning and the smart technologies to make education more fun. The sample case, and that is already under construction, is a smart campus that we are building not in Panama City, but in Santiago. It's 3.5 hours from the city. And in the first phase, what we would like to accomplish is to have advanced teaching and research. We will have Wi-Fi all over. And also, we want a green campus to be safe with them, to be friendly with the environment. We will introduce smart classrooms, and we will have the online meetings feature. Our new concept of learning is called Learning Villa, and I will show you a video of the how we see education right now. Well, the upcoming sites, we are planning to buy 7 of them throughout Panama, but the upcoming ones will be in the city of Panama, 3 places, Porta Norte, Costa Verde, is in the outside of the city, and Paseo del Norte. Major takeaways for us is the technology is accelerating and changing the workplace and the education, so it's important to adopt these changes. And universities are no longer the places where you are going to learn exclusively. You can go ahead and learn. For example, we think Learning Villa is one example of how we can combine technology with education. And at the EXUSA group, we are really actively pursuing university improvement, and we are committed to our students. And thank you very much for your invitation.
Thank you, Anna, for your sharing. We look forward to seeing more initiatives between Huawei and EXUSA in the years to come. Our last speaker for the day comes from Greece. It's a country that has placed a very heavy emphasis on education. To share with us more about a project that Huawei has done together, may I invite Mr. Elias Rizos, the BU Director and Sales Private Sector Deputy Director, to come forward to tell us more about the project itself. Let's welcome him.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Elias Rizos, and I am from Greece. I come from a country where the education of young people has deep traditions and has always been a top priority. In ancient Greece, education was the transfer of knowledge orally by the pedagogue and educator to the young males. In our most recent times, we all remember the classroom with blackboard and chalks. And today, we have the digital school with digital whiteboarding, with distance learning and e-books. However, In order to make this a reality, we need something that is not visible with a first glance, but it's our top priority, the network. In general, network and connectivity are the two most important technical elements we will need for future development. Cosmos Business System is a Greek company with 35 years of presence in the Greek market and one of the biggest technology integrators in Greece and Cyprus. We implement large projects in both the public and the private sector. We cooperate and partner with Huawei, and we invest constantly in technical expertise of our engineers because we believe that the networking is a highly dynamic sector that will keep evolving constantly. Together, Cosmos and Huawei, Huawei and Cosmos, we have completed the project with the name Hephaestus. Let me start by introducing to you Hephaestus, the ancient Greek god of fire. Hephaestus was one of the most important gods in ancient Greece as he passed on the knowledge of fire, one of the most important tools to humans. Therefore, he symbolized the transmission of knowledge, something that happens daily in the academic institution of our country, of your countries. However, how can this transition happen today if the basic tool that I mentioned before does not exist, the network? The Hephaestus project aimed to build and upgrade the networking infrastructure for all universities in the country to facilitate and promote new methods of the dissemination of knowledge and more. We choose Huawei as our partner in the particular project because Huawei traditionally develops state-of-the-art technologies in the field of the telecommunication and networks. Their products and services were perfectly adapted to the networking needs of the universities. Of course, I should also mention the reliability of their products, quality, as well as the diversity of their products lines that made it easy to choose the perfect solution for each university as a case-by-case basis. The project involved the delivery of 2,053 switches, as well as 56 network management systems in 49 academic institutions all over in Greece in 49 locations nationwide. The new installation helped first the students to have faster and more reliable internet access in existing structures of the institutions. Then professors to utilize new spaces in the institutions and to use modern teaching tools and methods. And last, the academic institutions due to the better utilization of supercomputing units available in their research centers, as well as due to the better communication capabilities offered through the new networking infrastructure. We have faster and higher transmission of large data volumes between university nodes seamlessly. And of course, Because of the success of this project, we have already started implementing IFESTOS Phase 2, which includes Wi-Fi 6 and will be completed by the end of 2023. Finally, I will close with a quote from Pythagoras, ancient Greek mathematician, Archa politias apasis neon trophas. That means the foundation of every state is the education of its youth. The evolution of the academic institution is important, and this is just the beginning of our cooperation with Huawei for Beacon Network project. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the remaining of the conference.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, Elias, for the sharing. I personally like the quote very much, and I wish Greece greater success in the education of the youth. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the forum. It's about lunchtime. I want to thank you again for being with us. I hope it has been useful for you as it has been interesting for me. So good day ahead, and I hope to see you again next year in Barcelona. Thank you, and have a good day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you for attending MWC Barcelona. As you leave, please ensure that you have all of your belongings with you. We would like to wish you a safe journey home and look forward to meeting you again next year.